Hello, thank you for having us today. Yes, very much said about us, so let's go directly into our topics. We won't show that detailed product presentations today, but showing more concept of general integration of solutions within the IT service management world into the ecosystem surrounding them. So short overview on who we are. So we are a rather small company compared to the further ones in this session today. We are located in Germany, in Bavaria. And yeah, we are family owned. We're founded in the late 90s, so we are around for some years as well. And our focus market is in the DACH region, like Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Benelux region. But we have also lots of customers in the Eastern European hemisphere and also in the Western hemisphere. So that's our core market. We are in since many years now, and we are evolving with this market, and our customers also from mid-sized companies to enterprise and large-scale companies. So we have also not an industry focus, but we are across all industries there, and also serving our customers since many years. So we have clients working with our platform actually since the late 90s. So they're doing we're going all the way with us and still working on our platform. And yeah, we are very proud of that we can have such a long-lasting impact also in our customers and our customer success. So what were you doing? Our OMNITRACKER platform is our basic product as an all-in-one business process platform focused on in the areas of low-code process configuration, an own BPMN 2.0 engine. Of course, in the meantime, with an own AI solution and lots more of features. We are focused in the area of enterprise service management, of course, with ITSM suite and ITIL, but also doing a lot of more stuff in it. We have a project management application module, sales module, requirements and system engineering module. And we are, I think, one of the first, if not the first, adopter of ITIL in the German speaking area. In the early 2000s, we hopped on the ITIL train and created our first ITIL-based application back then. And yeah, we evolved with this since then. Since a few years, we are also concentrating on the GRC market, so governance, risk, and compliance management, with lots of modules in there, as this is gaining interests across all our customers, and of course the demands are there. And we are fulfilling this also with our platform with a specialized application for that. But also, that's one of our biggest advantages, can integrate these completely also in the ITIL world. So our enterprise or ITSM service management applications cannot be completely integrated also in the GRC world, which is of course heavily connected there. And on top of that, with our platform, a lot of our customers creating really individual business applications, doing really very interesting individual stuff where there's no standard software to be found, supporting their business cases there. We can create on our platform in combination also with the other standard applications, very specific business applications. With our subsidiary OmniVolution, we also build external apps and individual web solutions. That's my colleague Thomas. He will tell you something about that later on. So diving in, what we want to show today, I want to go through some challenges we see at our customers or in the market in IT landscapes, in the area of integration, challenges of different tools and solutions, and how do we solve this with a GraphQL interface. And Thomas will give you some practical use case examples, including some live demos, what we have done actually at customers with that. and some advantages for your individual businesses, which you can take from there. So starting in today's integration challenges in today's IT landscapes, there are two major impacts we see here. So that's of course common sense. Every company runs individual processes on multiple software solutions, so there's no single platform in a company. Many think they have, but in reality, it's much more. The bigger the company, the more complex the company gets, that there are more complex and diversified software solutions are there. And the challenge, of course, is then that these solutions need to work together, ideally seamlessly. And this requires that they are speaking the same actual language. And on the other side, of course, we have the ITIL principles that the ITIL framework provides, shared rules, overarching value streams that are the basis of ITIL, of course, we all know, and that's why we follow it, to bring these rules together with these organizational challenges and bring in then the requirement, especially for ITSM systems, that they must be open and to that challenges, and offering really open, really individual integration options, which I'm sure everyone does in the one or other way. But what we want to emphasize today is a more deeper look into these platforms, what they actually need to deliver with the aim of full data access, process access, and real data and process transparency delivered and provided there. So that's the claim we have for today, and want to give a little insight on that, how we solve this. We use GraphQL as a standard integration option for that, to use this powerful interfacing for exactly meeting these requirements and these targets we need to, these challenges we have here in this topic. So what is GraphQL? For those who don't know yet, it has some principles, some basic requirements. It is consumer first oriented, so it's really if you have an application, need to communicate with another application or system. It's the other way around as traditional interfaces. So it's consumer first driven. So the consumer party of this interface needs to specify what it should need, what it needs, and data and structures, and communicates this to the receiving system. And supporting their black box approach. That means the GraphQL describes and documents it completely itself. So if someone has set up a GraphQL interface of an application, of a system, then you don't need to know much more about it at what you already get provided by the interface itself. So it really reduces meetings and discussions about the business case itself and the interface itself, because it's self-explaining. Therefore, of course, it's gaining efficiency. You don't have to. One thing I already said, so you don't have to do multiple meetings about some data types or data specifics, because you get it automatically. And on the other hand, also the efficiency of the data retrieval over this GraphQL interface, it's also much more efficient, that you can save round trips for that, because you can get all the data at one glance and really can work with this data right away. It can offer, if provided that way by the vendor of the solution, a full integration into systems, which also allows you to do much more things that just simple interfaces. It's really a full integration interface capability and opportunity this interface can give you. And on top of it, it's AI ready. So the AI readiness is also there. We also have a showcase later on that, how you can use GraphQL to really integrate today's AI infrastructures in different manners. You have maybe already working on in your organization, and how to use this with this kind of interface with your solution that provides that interface. So all of this combined together is supported by GraphQL as a standard, as an industry standard. And what we're covering here, just to let you know, this GraphQL standard is now around for some years and was founded by all the big names seeing here, like 26 foundation members at that time, which were pushing this standard into the world and using it, of course, also in their platforms. And after that, a lot of adapters came in to use also this kind of interfacing standard, and which is meaning, of course, it's everywhere. It can be used everywhere, nearly everywhere, and it should be used in certain cases. And when we are talking about which cases they should be used, of course, there's always a decision how to implement interfaces. And here's some examples what we would recommend to how to use this kind of interfaces, like complex use cases and dynamic queries across different consumers and with different need of data. So no real specification upfront what exact data should be need in that specific third-party application. Efficiency I already talked about, of resources when using that data, and of course connection to dynamic AI environments, which is often the case. These are all requirements or recommendations. If you have that in your project, you should look for the GraphQL interface rather than other interfaces. REST, of course, still has its functionality and still has its cases. If there are more rigid data structures, lower dynamics, or high demand data, which can be easier cached with REST interfaces, that's the areas we also still use REST interfaces, of course. So this is the main background why we want what we want to cover today, using GraphQL for specific use cases we have within our client projects. And when I now come to these practical use cases, we're talking about three different use cases today. Thomas will right now show to you. The basis of all, of course, is a client of us with a customized OMNITRACKER ITSM application in that cases. So very individual customized application in their area of IT service management where they are working in. And it was always the target to providing a very individual, simple to use mobile app or mobile website, supporting really very specific use cases for certain user groups. So it's less about providing a standard feature for a standard platform. It's really more about a very specific approach for a very specific user group, targeted here with this front end or mobile app, what it was in that context. So with that introduction, I want to hand over to Thomas now. He will share his screen now.
Thank you, Christian. I guess I need to stop screen sharing, otherwise I'm not allowed to share my screen, Christian.
Oh, let me. It's not responding. I cannot. I leave it and come back in. Maybe then it's working. It's not offering me a stop sharing button right now. It's only sharing. Now it's gone. Now it should be working.
Right, now you should see my screen. All right, thanks for having me. Today, I want to do something a bit different. Instead of starting with features and diagrams, I want to start with a person. Because the best IT solutions don't begin with technology, they begin with real people and real pain points. But first, let me introduce you to our main character, meet Dave. Dave is not the loudest voice in the room. He doesn't walk around saying, "Look what I built." He doesn't need a spotlight, and he definitely does not need a stage. But every company has a Dave, the quiet IT superhero, the person who shows up before small issues become a big incident, the one who sees patterns instead of chaos and solutions instead of excuses. And what makes Dave special isn't just technical skill, it's its mindset. If we keep running into the same problem, let's fix the workflow, not the symptom. Today's Dave's story. 3 everyday IT challenges, 3 lean, high-impact solutions, and 1 consistent theme. Open up IT service management so it actually works where the work happens. So let me start in the server room. Everything is documented properly. All assets live in the asset DB. Cabling is more or less clean. Inventory is accurate. On paper, it's perfect. But Dave knows a truth we all know. Perfect documentation is useless if we can't reach it at the moment you need it. Because when Dave is standing right here, next to the rack, something blinking red, he doesn't want to open a laptop, log into a portal, click through menus, search IDs. He needs the right information in the right place of action instantly. So that's the real problem Dave decided to solve. So Dave does what Dave always does. He doesn't create a 6-month project. He doesn't schedule 10 workshops. He says, I built a field worker app on my own. Lean, focused, exactly what's needed on site. And because Dave builds for the team, not for himself, he rolls it out to his colleagues, so everyone benefits. Here's what the app enables in practice. Mobile access to all assets. Everything in the asset DB is now in your pocket. You have a GPS radio search. So for example, if you stand somewhere in the building, the app says, here are my nearby assets around you. You have a barcode scanner integration to scan your assets, no typing, no mistakes. And you have a camera integration. A defect, take a photo and attach it directly to the ticket. Proper documentation happens in the moment and not hours later. This isn't flashy, but it's crucially effective. It removes friction from field service work. And this is where it becomes measurable. The entire app was built in only 12.5 days. A clean, narrow use case with huge impact. 4 times faster asset capture and ticket creation compared to a classic service portal. A PWA plus native capabilities for real field conditions. And important, GraphQL is the standardized gateway to our OMNITRACKER and data. It means less time per ticket, less downtime, and less downtime means real money saved. So Dave didn't just speed up a task, he speed up the entire incident lifecycle. Now, Dave barely had time to enjoy his win because the next classic problem was already waiting. Because this is Dave's everyday reality. The phone never stops ringing. Users call about VPN, password resets, printers, blue screens, the same 20 problems again and again. And Dave realizes we already know the solution. The knowledge just isn't where the user can reach it. So Dave asks a simple question. Why are we solving the same issues 100 times when we could give users the answers instantly? And once again, he built the smallest strong solution. He integrates the knowledge into the customer's intranet through the generic GraphQL interface. Now, IT knowledge becomes company knowledge. So the app is simple for users. Search a problem in natural language and find the right article immediately. Without calling IT, the most common issues are now self-service. And there aren't generic FAQ snippets. These are real solutions Dave's team uses every day, structured, visual, and actionable. Same source of truth, just delivered to the right people. It's also fully mobile and responsive. So whether you're at your desk or standing in the hallway with a broken laptop, you can now pull up help instantly. No friction, no extra logins, just answers. And again, the numbers tell the story. They've built this application in just 9 days. Centralized knowledge management still in OMNITRACKER, fast response time, intuitive UX, user focus, and again, GraphQL is the bridge to all the knowledge inside our ITSM tool. The result, fewer calls, fewer tickets. Dave didn't just publish articles, he removed an entire layer of noise from IT operation. And then we reached the moment every IT superhero knows. One day, Dave's manager shows up and says, Dave, I need a report. Ticket numbers by different metrics, custom views for investment decisions. Of course, as always, as fast as possible. You know the drill. The data is there, but classic reporting means waiting, iterations, different teams, business intelligence, bottlenecks. Dave thinks for a second, and then does Dave things. He connects the OMNITRACKER to a large language model. While most people think reporting starts with spreadsheets, Dave knows it actually starts with a question, not a static dashboard, not a pre-built template, a real business question asked in the moment. Dave just asked the system naturally, show me the latest tickets. Through MCP, the Model Context Protocol, which is now a standard to provide large language models with context, the model can communicate directly with the data in our IT service management tool, the OMNITRACKER, or also through GraphQL. It reads the schema and generates the queries and executes them and provides you instant response. So you can interact directly with your IT service management. For example, show me the last tickets for a given person. Again, a query against the OMNITRACKER with the right results at the right time. But these are only basic tasks. Dave needed to generate a dashboard for his manager. So he asked the language model to do it for him. The LLM knows exactly how to ask the GraphQL API. Even if it fails, it's able to correct the queries and execute them again. It collects data from different entities within your systems and is connecting the dots on its own. Then it thinks about how to present the data the right way. It will speed up the process. It generates interactive dashboards with graphs, bar charts, exactly what Dave needs to know. And this in real time. Dave can now deliver these insights directly to his manager. And he is happy as always. So I'm going to speed up things a little bit because we don't want to see the large language model to generate code here. Let's move directly to the result. So as you can see, the LLM created an interactive dashboard with bar charts, with pie charts, directly with the data integrated, and this in more or less real time. Dave can now create a PDF report or whatever he wants out of it and provide it to the decision maker. So here's the architecture. We have a large language model talking to an AI agent connected to an MCP OMNITRACKER server. And the standardized interface underneath is, of course, GraphQL. That means the agent can safely query and use IT service management data without hard coding every possible report. This is what Open ITSM looks like in practice. And suddenly reporting becomes conversational. Instead of filling out a request form, you just ask, show me incident trends for the region Europe by category of the last quarter, or break down SLA breaches by business units, or give me a clean investment summary. The system responds in real time. So Dave built this integration in just 3 days. It delivers fast outcomes, agent-first design, user access control, and even write access is safely governed. So real-time, fully customized reporting without waiting, without friction. And yeah, back to Dave. 3 everyday problems, 3 small, sharp solutions, all powered by one idea. Data and processes should be usable wherever work happens. Mobile in the field, accessible in the intranet, and now even conversational through AI. So every company has Daves, quiet IT superheroes. They don't ask for applause, but their solutions simply work. Thank you. Now back to Christian.
Yes, thank you, Thomas. So that was the insight of how the Daves of this world are could work now or will work now with the systems. And as we said, as we explained, it is about openness and transparency of your systems in the organization. You have to give them the access to the systems via GraphQL in that example, and everything else is nowadays really can be fast and really integrated easily into each other, and as you might seen also seamlessly with modern architectures like LLMs and AI agents. So there's no need to implement or buy a specific thing. If your systems provide this openness and this transparency, it's easier to bring in really specific solutions and requirements to life. So what I want to show here, just an overview, of course, of the advantages you can gain out of this in your individual business organizations. It's all about integrated specialized apps, extending your existing core platforms, not necessarily replacing it, because of course they have their point, their value. You still want to proceed these, especially in the process management area, where you have your rules and processes and data of your ITSM processes of the ITIL value streams. It's all there in place, but the access and the usage of it can be very specific and is very specific in every company I know which we're working together. It's not always the same. It's some of the other speakers have said it in the same way. It's really very unique, and you have to meet this uniqueness with these kind of options. So targeted expertise, if you have specific requirements, external apps can add deep domain-specific capabilities a standard platform may not bring out right away. For this, faster niche innovation can be done, of course, being very flexible with these extensions to meet exactly the need of the business at that point. And on the other hand, of course, the usability of these apps can be very specific, as you may have very specific user groups out there, which need a very straightforward process here, very straightforward app, and don't want to crawl around and browse around in different large applications. And yeah, no more login in ecosystems you may have in the company. You can support the best fit of tool choices, and it's of course very good scalable in any direction. So that's the major points. And just as to coming to an end, our concept here in our platform OMNITRACKER is a 3-level integration concept and approach. What we just saw here, it's just scratching at the surface. So we are here in the application layer. It's the level 1. So we have read access via queries. We have write access via so-called mutations over this interface. and yeah, can just retrieve the data from our data model, full access to the whole data model on the application layer, of course, with authentication and impersonification feature that you don't have to care about what is the data I'm exposing here. You're giving it a specific role, and the user who logs in within the external application exactly only gets that information and data he is allowed to do based on his user role, so you don't have to care about that. It's all already defined, and of course all kind of data types you have in your system.
Okay, Christian, we're going to have to try and hurry you now because
yes,
I've let you go all the way through to the end. So I give you 30 more seconds.
Yes, I'm on the last slide. So level 2 and 3 are going deeper. We are also offering a BPMN 2.0 process automation engine. We also can address this interface in that area, start processes, retrieve processes, execute user tasks within these specific BPMN processes. And the deepest level there, the schema layer, we also can address our own configuration layer. So you can even build a specific configuration admin dialog for that if you need this. We have some specific customers needing that, like dynamic configurations of the data model via, in the end, maybe an AI agent just giving an advice to configure something new in the system.